Hi there, I'm Samantha Siffring. I am a business coach for moms with online businesses. I help you with mindset and marketing. And today I'm talking to you about getting clients on Facebook, specifically from other people's Facebook groups. And I was just chatting with a couple people about this and really wanted to make sure that I brought it to you before the end of the week, which is why you're getting this beautiful Friday realness. I am not feeling 100% today, but good enough to sit here at my desk and talk to you about Facebook, which is one of the biggest ways that I've gotten most of my clients actually from other people's Facebook groups. So I have a few tips. First, what to do and what don't to do or what not to do. So what to do, answer questions. If somebody's asking like, hey, how do I get clients online? Obviously, I am all over that because I know exactly how to get clients online. So maybe for you, it's like, hey, how do I set up the system? Or how do I set up Facebook ads? Or whatever you do, if somebody's asking about that, for sure, answer the question, give lots of value. Don't be afraid to connect with them outside of the group. What I often do is say, hey, I have an amazing resource for that, and they want it. So we start up a little message. I invite them to this group. Maybe that's how you got in this group, by the way. Like this post if this is how you got into this group. So I definitely don't feel bad about getting them into a message with me to chat about working together or taking my resource, joining my group, whatever it may be. So that first tip was don't be afraid to answer questions and get into a message with somebody. Next, you can also do a value post. So that would be writing a post that offers some tips or is really inspirational or personal or motivational. I think the best post that I ever did in another group was all about how I never meant to be a stay-at-home mom and how it was a real struggle for me at first. And building my business really gave me purpose and fulfillment as a stay-at-home mom. And that really connected with a lot of people because this group that I was in was for moms with businesses. So it was really going to land with that audience. It wasn't like I had all this strategy. I was just sharing from the heart, but it was successful for that reason. So that kind of brings me to which groups you should be doing these two things in. And you should look for groups that your people are in. So make sure that you really know your target audience and then look for these groups. So I am in a lot of online entrepreneur groups because that is who I work with. I'm also in some mom groups because that is also who I work with. So really think about who is your target audience and where can you find them, and then start doing this. What you should not do in a group is spam, like just posting your link or posting something that like once you get to the end, it's been leading you up to some kind of sales thing. Even if that is allowed in those groups, it just doesn't come off as very enticing. So really think about when you are looking at posts in groups, what is attractive to you? What makes you click? What makes you want to check that person out? And chances are it is not the thing that is super salesy. It's the thing where they're a real person and it really piques your curiosity. Sorry if you can hear a child in the background. Also, what I really recommend you don't do in groups is asking a bunch of questions that are really scattered. So I see this sometimes, and you start to notice this person because they're always asking all of these crazy questions, all about these different things, and you just wonder, like, what are they all about? They don't know what they're doing. That's not somebody that I would hire to handle something for my business. So really think about, be conscious of what you're posting. If you have questions all over the place, then you really need to figure out, oh my gosh, Marnie, no, it was your kid. It was not your kid, it was mine. Might have been yours. So just really think about what you're posting. If you have questions, maybe ask somebody who seems like an expert. If you have questions and you're all over the place, feel free to message me. I'm happy to set you on the right track and give you some clarity. I always offer free calls for people to help you do that. So definitely message me if you need that kind of help instead of being a little scattered in groups. Okay, one more thing I want to talk about is making sure this doesn't take over your life, because there was a time when it took over my life completely, and I felt like I had to be on Facebook in these groups all the time or else I would lose a potential client. And that really gets into your mind, and you hear these things about how you need to be hustling for clients. And that's definitely true. It takes work to get clients, but you don't have to be on there every moment of the day. So what I recommend is that you really decide on a number of groups that is reasonable for you to commit to. So maybe that's 3, maybe that's 5, but just remember to make sure it's really targeted to who you want to work with. Decide on the number of groups, decide on which groups it's going to be. Maybe you will pin those. Over on the left, you have a menu where you can save some things, like some quick links to go to. So that'll kind of remind you, these are my 3 groups or my 5 groups, whatever it may be. And then decide on an amount of time that you want to dedicate to this, and really limit yourself so that you're not going crazy spending 5 hours a day scouring these groups. So maybe you're going to check in twice a day, morning and evening. Maybe it's lunchtime and evening. Maybe it's 3 times a day. Really have it figured out when and for how long you're going to check in. And a really good thing to realize in these groups is that search function. Over on the left, if you're on desktop, I think it's up at the top if you're on mobile. And you can search for your topic. You can search for Facebook ads or Pinterest, whatever your thing is that you help with, you can search, and all of those posts with that mentioned will come up, and you can sort by most recent. If you just kind of want to generally browse in the group real quick, you can also organize those on desktop by most recently posted. So you can just kind of look through those ones that have been posted since the last time you were there, and really keep yourself from getting lost in the fog of whatever is going on in that group. So that's what I recommend to you. Be strategic, be careful with your time. Time and money are the 2 resources that we have to build our businesses. And money, you can always make more, but time, you cannot. So don't waste your time just aimlessly being in these groups. Make sure you're really smart about how you use time in these groups. I have one more bonus thought. You may see those group threads where I know some groups I'm in, it's like collaboration day, post your freebie day, post your paid offer day. And I used to think that those were no good and not worth your time because there's thousands of posts and people just drop their link and run. But what I have actually noticed is every time I do one of those, every time I post my Facebook group, my business page, Instagram, freebie, paid offer, even when I participate in those, people actually click on it, people join my group, people buy my low-cost program, people opt in. It's only a couple people max each time, but I think it's worth the couple minutes it takes. So what I do on my phone in the Notes app, I just have a quick little thing about my paid offer, my low-cost one, not my one-on-one coaching, about my freebies. I have a couple freebies, so each one I have a little write-up for with the link, and I just copy and paste into that thread, and onward it goes. A couple people click on it, like I said. So I do think that those group threads can be worthwhile. You're not going to build your entire business from them, but when you're building your list and your audience, it's totally worth it for a couple of new people. So those are my thoughts for you on Facebook. If anybody who's watching has any questions, feel free to type those in and I will for sure answer. And if I don't see anything come through in the next couple minutes in the questions, then I will log off and then just kind of check in a little bit later. And I'm also happy to do these kinds of Q&As or topical presentations on anything. I actually had somebody message me about what to do in Facebook groups, and that's why I'm doing this, because I answered her. It was helpful for her, and I thought, you know what, I bet the rest of the group really wants to hear about this. So that's my thought. I don't see any questions, but I just want to make sure that you all saw my visibility freebie that I added. It is in this group, and I actually put it in this group without an opt-in. So you guys are getting a treat there. You don't even have to go through a form. You can just click on it and open it. And it's 59 ways to be more visible online. And it just gives you a ton of different ideas aside from just Facebook groups, aside from maybe what you've been thinking, to kind of get the juices of your imagination flowing on where you can work on visibility online. Okay. Doesn't look like I'm getting any questions, but I will keep an eye on the comments and respond to you later today, over the weekend. Now I am headed out to Costco, so wish me luck. Have a great weekend.